This is the Law Office of Military Law and Justice, court-martial.com. Again, all the links will be in the description below. Hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name is Jerry. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be another one of those videos that's going to be further reasoning behind why I left MAGA and the Republican Party. There's no other way to set it up. Josh Hawley, senator from my state, has negotiated an inclusion of the Stop CSAM Act in the Senate NDAA. Let's look through this and let me explain to you why I'm having a little bit of issue with this. Well, more than just a little bit. Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. So this was posted yesterday. Today is obviously that makes today Wednesday, July 15th, 2026, and it's about 1:30 p.m. Central Time. So, Dateline, Washington. Today, U.S. Senator Josh Hawley, Republican of Missouri, announced that his legislation to combat child sexual abuse material online, the Stop CSAM Act, was added to the text of the Defense Policy Bill currently being considered in the United States Senate. Senator Hawley negotiated the inclusion of the Stop CSAM Act into the Manager's Amendment, of the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, following the successful passage of this bill out of the Judiciary Committee in a unanimous vote last year. They need more. Who edited this? That was a horrible run-on sentence. I felt bad having to take a breath through it, but I want to point out here where negotiated the inclusion of the Stop CSAM Act into the Manager's Amendment. So this is an amendment on an amendment dealing with national defense. So anyway, signed into law, this legislation would crack down on egregious cases of child exploitation online and give victims the right to sue big tech platforms. Okay, this all sounds well and good, but I'm going to show you something. And it sounds to me like he's wanting to set up military tribunals, which is something MAGA has been wanting for a while. I should know. I used to be one. But Josh Hawley, this is what clued me in. I saw this post on Facebook, actually. My legislation to combat child sex abuse material online has been included in the Senate's NDAA. Congress needs to pass this bill and give parents and victims the power to hold big tech accountable. I think it's pretty despicable that Josh would decide to try to add this to the military budget, but it would mean that there would be military action, right? Anyway, we're going to address that in a moment. The Stop CSAM Act would crack down on the proliferation of child sexual abuse material, CSAM, online by allowing victims to sue companies that host it. Senator Dick Durbin, Democrat of Illinois, has served as co-lead on this legislation. Senator Hawley reintroduced the legislation in March of 2025 ahead of the Senators' Joint Committee hearing highlighting witnesses impacted by CSAM, including survivors, advocates, and law enforcement experts. The bill then passed unanimously out of the Senate Judiciary Committee in June of 2025. Let's see. You'll note that this is online. And as I noted, he's including it in the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act. Being a vet, man, this just like really popped off the page at me. Also, being an advocate against domestic and sexual violence and human trafficking really caught my attention. So I'm guessing that he is, since he wants it in the military budget, he wants military intervention, and he's talking about online stuff. But let's take a look at some articles here. This is from the let's see, the Office of Public Affairs, U.S. Department of Justice. I'll have all the links in the description. Former Army soldier pleads guilty to exploitation crimes committed in Alaska and Texas. The links will be in the description below. I'm not going to read the articles. All right. I just want to point out that there are these issues within the military around this sort of behavior that allegedly is going to. Anyway, it's complicated, I guess. Maybe I just don't understand it. United States Attorney's Office sent. Oh, hang on. Let me go back to this so that you know for sure that I'm not dealing with the same report time and time again. We got Seth Herrera, age 36. Don't harass these people. All right. I do want accountability, but don't be harassing them. So, former Army private found guilty of child exploitation charges, including production of sexually explicit material of a minor. This is so you can see the name there, and you can see where they're from. All right, don't harass them. 2 additional Citadel cadets arrested on CSAM charges, making four in total, or making four total in March. You'll notice up here, this is March of 2026. Charleston, South Carolina, 2 former Citadel cadets have been arrested on charges related to exploitation of children. We got name 1 here. We got name 2 here. Oh, here, I didn't highlight the whole thing. There we go. Name 2 there. We had this other article. This is coming to us from ABC4.com, Utah Watch. Utah National Guardsman charged with possessing CSAM documents say. How do they get a hold of these things? How do they trade them back and forth? It's by the internet, right? So we're gonna have the military policing the bad behavior of the military when the military can't do that. This article, all these articles are modern. This article's April 21, 2026. Air Force member arrested in Tucson after police allegedly find CSAM on devices. Over here, it's on your side, wavy.com. We've got U.S. Navy Senator arrested following CSAM investigation. Again, 2026. And for some of you guys out there, I need to point out none of them are drag queens. None of them are transgender. All right. And I don't think any of them had blue hair, did they? Yeah, because they were all in the military. And then there's this guy here, twice convicted predator, faces federal case for purchasing CSAM. I got this little detail I want to bring to you. And then I've got another one that we're going to kind of read through or look into a little more deeply. But this is the Law Office of Military Law and Justice, court-martial.com. Again, all the links will be in the description below. Military CSAM and CP, so that's child sexual assault material and child pornography. Defense at court-martial. Possession, viewing, and distribution cases under the UCMJ. Allegations involving CSAM are among the most egregiously prosecuted offenses in both federal court and at court-martial. The emotional weight of these cases often drives investigative shortcuts, expansive charging theories, and extreme sentencing demands. But constitutional protections still apply. The government must still prove that every element beyond any or a reasonable doubt. And in a military system, judicial or jurisdictional and statutory limits matter. Gavin Freeberg defends service members and retirees facing CSAM related allegations worldwide. So these people, it looks like what they do is they defending our defenders worldwide. Imagine that. This one is a little bit lengthy. UCMJ Lawyers Essential Guide to CSAM Technology based on the Luxembourg Guidelines. Why pornography is not the preferred term. Pornography is a term primarily used for adults engaging in consensual sexual acts distributed to the general public for their sexual entertainment. This the the concern when it comes to children is that pornography, the term and activity, has become increasingly normalized and can contribute to diminishing the seriousness of or even legitimizing what is actually sexual abuse and sexual exploitation of children. The term child pornography might allow the inference that the acts are carried out with the consent of the child and represent legitimate sexual material. The term child sexual abuse material removes the ambiguity. The term is important. In cases involving minors and sexual content, the wrong word can cause overcharging and undercharging, confusion in interviews, legal documents, and trials, and difficulty distinguishing criminal conduct from the non criminal behavior. Let's see, core terms CSAM, CSEM, CSA, CSE. Go ahead and pause it at any time to look closer at those. Let's go back to the top and read back through them. We've got CSAM, child sexual abuse material. Definition: any picture, video, or digital file that shows a real child engaged in a sexual activity or any depiction of the sexual parts of a child for sexual purposes. This is the preferred term worldwide. Child pornography is outdated and misleading because it suggests consent, participation, or commercial activity. Key point: it requires a real child. There is no minor as involved. Oh, if no minor is involved, as it is not CSAM, but might fall into another category of contraband. CSAM, child sexual exploitation material, similar to CSAM but broader, includes any material created through the exploitation of a child, including non-explicit images used for grooming, coercion, or blackmail. Example: a minor coerced into sending lingerie pictures. Not explicit, but still exploitation. CSA, child sexual assault, a general term for the underlying act, not the images. So CSA may involve physical sexual contact, non-contact abuse, exposure or masturbation in front of the child, coercive interactions, and exploitation for images. CSE, child sexual exploitation, abuse, where the child receives something of value or is manipulated for the predator's benefit. Examples: exchanging images for money or gifts, grooming a child to create sexual content, using threats to obtain sexual images, sextortion. CSE overlaps with CSA, but involves a component of advantage gain or manipulation. Term related to creation of sexual content. There's more there. All the links will be in the description below. Let's see. How long is this video so far? About almost 15 minutes. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. But I'll go ahead and scroll the rest of the way through this so you can kind of get an idea as to whether or not you want to dive into what all this material is actually talking about and why it matters to advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves, why it matters to stay in touch with your elected representation, except because of the fact that Josh Hawley and I don't see eye to eye. He won't respond to me. Just ignored me. So that's what kind of guy he is. Well, if you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. That tells me that you are looking for information with validated information to back it up. Data, that's what matters. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, I'd appreciate it if you do. Come back, there will be more. I'm a bit sporadic because some of the stuff I do, I need to do a channel update. But yeah, so please take care of yourself so you can help take care of others. Get the rest that you need. Drink plenty of fluids. And please remember, mental health matters.